I have a couple of hours this time. I'm going to see if I can get the particle thing working. Specifically, the changing the gun. I was going to use a physical object, but I think just using particles will be simpler. I've been trying to figure out how pings work to resolve it, and I think I've figured it out, but I'm just going to play around in the code some more. I'm still waiting for some of the models to come through, so that's why it's still kind of a blank space. Anyway. Okay. I'm also going to start doing more individual referencing instead of going just to the world variables like I was planning to do. It kind of depends on what I'm working with, I guess. Alright. So I was playing around here a little bit. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to add a particle effect. Instead of a fire direction and all that, I'm going to have a particle effect. I wonder if it's possible to change its start point. Yes. It's probably easier just to have it under the mesh itself, though. Envisioning every time you fire it, it'll reposition the firing point. I guess it doesn't need to be under it then. Maybe I'll still have the fire direction, and then instead of ammunition, I will have a particle fire system, attacking system, snow system. There we go. So I'll have a particle system. The particle system doesn't really need duration. It's not going to be looping. It's not going to start on awake. It will be in world space. It'll be affected by gravity. What else do we need? The emission is not going to be over time. It's going to be a burst of 1. Yep. Okay. The shape. I want it to be basically just a line. It needs to have collision active, where it will send a collision message in the world space, and get rid of it after collision. It'll collide not with anything. I only want it to collide with player and eventually walls, but I'm not sure about that yet. I wonder if I can make it collide with other snow. That'd be amusing. Right. Alright, this definitely needs its own Gudon behavior because it will be colliding with things. I don't think this thing... Yeah, it'll have a sync on it. So, new program. Alright, so it'll obviously be particle system will be on itself. The main thing it'll need is a command to fire and some synced methods. So instead what I will have probably a serialize onto serialization kind of thing. So let's go to one that has one, which is right here. And then let's have another synced system. I will have a couple different synced variables though. The first ones are going to be position. I guess I don't need to have those unique in a callback because they're not going to. Well, I guess I could. I could just do it right there, right then and there, right? No, there's no reason to do it. There's no reason to do extra. I don't need all this. What I do need is, because it'll be a simple, because it's simple, right? It'll just be a. I'm just bouncing back and forth. Alright, well let's start by making it a position. So it'll be a vector 3. And it will be the particle system position. So set PS, POS, POS value. I don't think I actually need to change this yet. POS, set POS. So I'm going to set the POS, and then I'm going to kind of do the same thing again. Only instead of PS POS, it's going to be PS rotation. So PS rot, set POS, set PS rot, PS rot, set PS rot. So this is going to give a rotation change, this is going to give a position change, and then this is going to be the important one. This one, and this one is going to be this is, quaternion. Alright. So public integer, is it gonna be an integer? It's gonna be a double. Because this is gonna be the time frame that tells you how long delay. Delay. Could probably have this be a means of checking the delay in time as well so that it doesn't get rapid fire beyond the attack limit. So I guess I could have a float here. So there's a time delay between the attacks. I guess you'll get the ownership of this object when you gain ownership of the snow gun. So I don't need to set the ownership, and instead I'll just have it just be a fire snow. Fire weapon? Fire snow? Activate snow? I don't know, it's kind of weird. So it'll just do a quick request serialization after it determines a couple of things, and that is the position of it. So it's going to have a transform, which will be serialized field transform angle fire direction, and it'll take the set program variable name of PS POS. So it's setting the position to be equal to this dot position, and it's going to do three things here. It's going to do that also to PS rotation, where it's setting the rotation of it, and then it is going to take the sync delay. So sync delay, and it's going to into the sync delay set it to be the server time, which I was playing around with before. It's this value. So basically it's going to get the network server time in seconds from their perspective and set it into place. And then it's going to request serialization and fire snow. That's funny. So it'll run fire snow as an event and a response to this value being changed, provided that it is greater than what it was last time. So I will need a check in place to make sure it's different from the previous fire. So it'll just be a old sync delay, and the fire snow basically is going to activate if the old sync delay is greater than the new sync delay. Actually, how does that even show? Like, what is the value of a double in this case? Let's see here. Get the network server time in seconds. I guess I could use the calculate server delta time, because it calculates the difference between two server time stamps as returned. That only matters for the actual player itself. But what I want to know is that it's counting up, right? I'm pretty sure it's counting up. Let me check real quick. I'm pretty sure it's counting up. Oh, no. I read my script. Okay. I'm gonna assume it's going up. so then it will take the sync delay becomes equal to the sync delay, which is the new server time value. And then what it needs to do is it needs to actually emit the projectile, but before it does that, it needs to simulate it. So instead of emitting it outright, it'll get the components of the particle system. And it'll simulate it for the time delay. So simulate. And pauses it. I don't want it to pause though. Not play. I think I just have to play after. Alright, so the time that it'll take is going to be equal to the networking time. So this is the time it actually took to get to it, minus the sync delay, which is the time that it actually is. Sync delay. What is this? Oh, that's old. That's the old one. I'll convert it to a float. In the first place, I don't really care for it being a double. It just is a double in the nature of it. Can I just put a flow in the front? Can I just do this? Yeah, okay. And then actually, can I just take calculate server time delta time? Calculates the difference between server time stamps as returned by... server delta time. Oh, I don't have an end region in there. Alright, so it activates snow, it sends a quick sync. This value changes the sync delay, and that's the important thing, because that's what actually causes it to fire. Before it fires, it needs to reposition things, so it'll take the fire direction, and that'll become equal to the PSPOS, and then do the same thing with the rotation into the PSROT. So it'll reposition, oh, itself, aha, I'm skipping. It changes its own position to that other fire position in space. Okay. So you activate snow, you have a fire delay, it doesn't need to be that long. An old sync delay, make sure that's long enough, it changes to it, changes that, changes that. And this is serialized so everybody sees this, so everybody activates it. And then I need another event for what happens when the snow actually hits something. And this is public void on particle. What is it again? On particle collision. There we go. So this will take the particle collision from the... Make sure that it's actually enabled on the snow system. Collision. Yes, send collision messages. Also means it needs to have collision. For now, I'll just make it everything. I can change it later. Okay. So that's now working on that. So now it'll send an event here where the other can be what it hit. And if the other, for example, was pewed on, then it could take the event that I was previously doing here, which means I don't need any of this anymore, because I'm not doing this anymore. I do need a serialized field for the particle system now. Force is no longer needed here. I would change it on the snow system itself if I needed to change the value. I could still have it here on the gun though. There's no reason not to just put it on the snow system. The snow system, the force would of course change like the starting speed for the particle. Lifetime, which means lifetime something that's really long. It doesn't matter, it's just gonna go away on its own. Yep. This is a very strange thing. I don't know how I feel about this. Let's change it to something else. Okay. Now, I think what I need is this to actually recognize that it's getting hit by something. Which is probably the snow system that determines that. Let's have another sync on. I really want to put it on the gun, but I think the snow system makes more sense. Okay, so let's see. This will need to have a team index. For the weapon itself. But then again, if I have I have it kept track of already under the player tracker, I think. Repositioning, start, update. I was gonna keep track of it here, but I don't really think I need to. I could probably just use a basic sync system. I don't think I need to get fancy for these. Maybe for the shields it would be more important. I'll just sync it here. That's probably fine. These really don't need to be public. Alright, so we have the run team index. Team index gets changed here. All that's doing is it's just changing the value of the team. Actually, does it even need a function? I don't think this even needs a function. Because this is what matters. Okay. I don't think it needs a function. It just needs to exist. Okay. So we'll have a series of if statements here. If other dot layer. What was I doing before? Basically, I want to check to see if it's a specific layer. Could I use the switch for that? Layers 28 and 29. Yeah, just like that. So you'll catch the layer of the collider, which is the player layer, which determines that it's one of these objects, and then it needs to get the actual reference of the object in question. And to do that, I think I can actually just get it directly because I have it on the actual object that has the udon. So the work udon is equal to type of. So they become equal to the work udon, so it'll become equal to the other components. So that's the udon behavior. So I'll give the work udon, so the work p udon. And that lets me trigger all the values on the work p udon, such as getting the integer value of the PHP. And then setting it. Although I do need to keep track of who is activating it. Maybe I'll just make it local for now. Like if your local player index is equal to that of the thing that's being hit. As it is right now, it might get hit twice, one from each player. I don't need to make this work PHP, it's just PHP. Because if I serialize it, everybody's going to try to take ownership of it. Do you want it to have it locally see that you got hit yourself, or do you want to have it see that somebody else hit you? If you had a really bad lag and it was taking a long time for you to get the missile, you would never see it coming yourself, so it makes more sense to do it from the player that fired it. But then at the same time, you could probably glitch that as well. I don't think there's a right answer here. I'll just have an owner of the object and have that be a determinant of it. Well, obviously you're going to be the owner if you're the one who synced it in the first place, right? You're setting all these values. Yeah. Oh, I have it backwards. There we go. Alright, so since you are the owner, I can use that right here. And I can go if networking dot is owner game object. And then it will do the function. I wonder if it'll have a problem if I put this here. Yeah, it will. I'm just gonna put this in here. Okay. So it checks to see you are the owner of the object, which means you're the one who fired it in the first place, which means it doesn't really matter what they're doing. It matters that you actually see that you hit them in this case. So on particle collision does the other, sets the effect, HP. I guess I should call this new PHP so there's no confusion. Minus damage. I'll make another one here. Team current snowball is better from. You could have a friendly fire system here too. So team index, and what else? What other things do I need? I need a team index. I need a damage. Default is going to be 1. There we go. So now there's a snow damage value. Wait, what? Oh, it's still double. That's not a double, that's an integer. Okay. Alright, and then it'll send a serialization. Let's send custom event, serialize. And then it'll serialize the change in HP upon getting hit by the particle collision. I guess I need to check for friendly fire. Let's make that a world variable. There we go. So now I got friendly fire from the world variables, which also means the world variables needs to have a friendly fire. Let's go and grab some seed regions. Oops. Okay, so what does it need? Does it need team, PHP? No. Honestly, all it needs is one of these right now. Oops. Which will be false by default. I will have a function for this eventually as a trigger so you can see the change in the value. There we go. Currently it will do nothing, but down the road it will do something. Okay. So back to the snow system, it'll get that friendly fire variable, and it will use that as a determinant for if. So first of all, it has to hit them, but it also needs to be either this different team or friendly fire. So, and there's an either or here, so, and either friendly fire is true, or or the team index is not equal to 28 is elf, I think, right? 28 elf player, yeah. So or the team index is not equal to, in case there's more than one team in the future, not equal to 0, because 0 is the elf team. Okay, so as long as it's not in the elf team or friendly fire is enabled, then it will go through the process of saying, hey, I hit this person. And I want to have it as a switch and keep it separate because... well, do I need it to be a switch? Yeah, I'll just leave it as a switch for now. Feels kind of duplicative, but... because later I might have different effects depending on what you hit. And I want to have different layers for those other things that you might be able to hit. Okay. So on particle collision, it does this. This is probably testable, right? I can test this now if I just use the snow machine and fire something. Let's make the default 0. It should change by the time you pick it up, and it should always have a team index to fire with anyway. Sync delays, whatever. Okay. I think that's good. Alright, what do I actually need a snow gun for besides initiating it? It'll be... if I just move it onto the object underneath it, does it even need to be synced at all? Because it seems like the syncing is kind of being done by the snow system underneath it anyway. So you probably just have the snow system be separate to it. don't need this step anymore. I don't need that. Originally I was getting the player P as a means of determining if it's held in the first place, but if I just have it as an object that's held, it's hard. I think I will keep it separate as a held item system and just track it through the player tracker instead of having it as a normal sync from object pool sync, as an object pool instead of an object sync. Because that way I can track it more directly onto the player instead of having it be awkwardly following them, which I've seen with a lot of object syncs before. Just do a quick save and check and see what breaks. Method is not exposed. Oh no, I might have to change my system again. Or is it a typo somewhere? Rotation not exposed. What? Oh. That's a silly mistake. Alright. Is that good? Was that the only mistake? Okay, I have no bugs, good. I need to make one of these visible and have a different team. You are going to be PHP of 5, you'll have a team of 1. And I need to make a thing so that you're visible. Capsule. Alright, I need to make you significantly smaller. Point height of. Wait, what's the height of you? About half height and 0.25. Oh, wrong one. Alright, how about that? Yeah. Alright. So let's take this, move it over here. Make it bigger. Alright, so I have the snow gun. Fire direction. Does it match? Copy and paste this to you. Move this back out. Play. What the heck? Why is it going? Is it just going so fast or something? Or is it hitting this? Fire. I have no idea. Oh, are you getting caught on this collider? I think that's the issue. I think it's getting caught on this own collider. Alright, well this is a... I can use the layer now. That's fine. So nothing except for layer. There we go. There we go. Good. Now I should be able to test it. So if I take the entire gun, actually it doesn't really matter the entire gun is because it's going to reposition. Oh, I didn't set the, oops, I almost forgot. World variables and fire direction need to be slotted in there. So now if I take the snow system and I fire it by running the event, activate snow. Didn't do anything. Alright, activate snow, what do you do? I wonder if it's because it's like highly negative. Oh, there's a sync delay. Okay, so let's go back to this snow system and let's activate snow. I mean, it's definitely changing the sync delay. Changing the sync delay, networking.set owner, making sure that I'm the owner, that request serialization. The fact that it's changing the sync delay means that it should be trying to fire the snow. And if it's trying to fire the snow... Oh, wait. That should be less than. I was inverted. Alright, oh wait, before I click play. Oh, I already clicked play. I forgot to slot it again. Yep. I need to remember to slot it after I'm done. Alright, so we'll take the projectile launcher named Mesh. I'll move it over here real quick. Move it down just to test it first. And take the snow system, find the events, and activate. Oh, I got script crash. Oh, I forgot to slot it. I literally told myself I forgot to slot it. Oh my gosh, okay. World variables, fire direction. Let's move it over here to start with here. Okay. So, alright, snow system. Got it. Doesn't really matter where it is because it's going to reposition anyway. Activate. Aha! It fires the snow. Hooray! It's going a little bit too fast though. It shouldn't be letting me spam it like that. Also, why is it resetting? Is it because I'm using simulate? Okay, well regardless, let's go ahead and change the mesh to be over this way. And then let's check here, make sure that you are team 1, PHP of 5. And if I go back to the snow gun, team is 0. Snow damage is 1. Let's try firing it. I think it fired. It kind of disappeared. Let me try firing it again. Oh yeah, that definitely hit it. So let's go back to it. It doesn't look like it actually changed the PHP on it though. It definitely collided though. There's no other collider here besides this one. It's L's player, which is... Oh wait, it's an L's player. It's not on the right layer. I set the layer manually, I didn't set the layer through code. Grinch player. Now if I fire it hit it, and it went down. Alright. It took damage, and if I change the snow system to a damage of 3, and I fire it again, yep, it took 3 damage, and if I fire it again, it should go down to 0, and hopefully not to negative. It went to negative. Okay. I forgot to set the negative values in there. Mathf clamp. Maximum. There we go. Okay, so it's doing damage, it's hitting it properly. Particle system thing's working. I can't really test the latency thing. I'll have to deal with that later. Oops, actually let me close out something. So this will be a thing that'll run in response to getting hit. This will probably mostly be used for updating visually the local player and determining their visual effects. I imagine the hit effect is probably going to be from the particle collision here. Maybe I'll have a second item that syncs and repositions itself for where something gets hit, in case people aren't like in the same positioning scheme. I wonder if you can have a snowball stick to a player like that without having their root exposed. Okay. One thing I'd kind of like to figure out is why it's not letting me spam it like it was letting me do before. Obviously here it makes sense because it's only 1 per burst. Maybe I make this 0. That's probably why it's not letting me spam it. It's because the duration was set to that. I bet now if I play it again, it'll probably be perfectly fine. Alright, activate. No, it still is not letting me spam it. Or it is rather letting me spam it, which is bad for 2 reasons. What if I change the delay to be really large, like 5-second delay? Oh, it still lets me spam it. I feel like it has to be this play button. I think this is causing the problem. Isn't there an emit? Like if I just emit? I do think I need to play, because I think if it pauses it... Oh, what did I do before? Let's see. I don't even know. Am I even doing this part right? I do want to get a single time from which to just change the simulation point. Yeah, this is accurate because I'd want to get the actual sync delay. And that's the time that I'd want it to start at further out. Which is going to be 0 for the player, but higher than that for everybody else. What happens if I get rid of this? And yeah, let's go ahead and just make it a thing. I'm gonna need that. Very curious what happens if I get rid of the play. That'll probably just like not fire, right? It'll just get stuck in the air. I thought I clicked play. I did not. All right. Does it even go forward? That is the question. It does not. Just like I thought. It just kind of gets stuck there. Okay, so yeah, the play is very much needed to continue it. Is there a way to avoid destroying the particle? Cooling mode. I think automatic cooling is what I want, right? Yeah, definitely looping automatic is fine because it's not looping. And that would be bad if it was, because then it would be off screen. Or it needs to be off screen rather. Okay. Maybe it's because I'm clicking play instead of resume. Is there like a resume function? Pause. That implies that there's a resume, right? Yeah, this is starting it, so I don't want to start it though. How to resume. Timescale, pause. Pauses the system, so new known particles are emitted. Yeah, so it's play. So it's just play. Why does it, every time I click play, why does it reset it then? Are there options within play? Like, is there something I can do in here? No, not really. I'm gonna have a problem here where you can only have like one snowball firing out per unit time if it's like this. I guess I could work on the other things for now. I don't have the torch system set up either yet. So it definitely has its own PHP system. It's going to need to have animations triggered. Probably have a sound system underneath it for fire of some kind. Well, since I need like animations, I need shaders and things. I'm kind of waiting for them for that anyway. really don't like the fact it's doing that. Maybe it's because I'm trying to play it instead of like burst it. But the thing is, to deal with the delayed time, I don't think I can burst it, probably. Visualize bounce trigger. Yeah. Play on wake. Hold space. Okay. Can you simulate into an emit, maybe? Alright, I need to figure out this function. So let's emit one. And let's change the simulation value to an artificial value, which I can play around with. Let's just change it to the fire delay instead. There we go. So now the fire delay is actually going to be the delay on the simulation, and it'll emit one regardless. Maybe that will cause it to do what I want it to do. And alright, so first of all, stop. Let's make it so that it is play. You just play as is. Alright, so let's grab it, and we will try activating it now. Now it fires twice. That's interesting. So it's firing twice, and one of them is simulated, the other one is not. Maybe if I have an interval of, or a time of like 1 or whatever, it'll never emit, or probability of 0, or just no emission at all. Maybe. What if I have no emission at all? There we go. But now it's firing from here and not from the point I want it to emit from. So what I'd like is for a fire delay. So if you have an emission and I click activate snow, well, that's strange. Fire delay of 2. Probability of 1. So you can see how one of them starts really far away. So like if I change this to 1, now it starts all the way over there, which is what I want, because I want it to have a delay for certain players. But it's still doing this thing. I didn't want that, so I may just have to use like multiple systems of snow systems if I want it to have a rapid fire, or it just needs to be like on or off with a lot of firing. I don't even know. Alright. Definitely play though. I'm just going to do this real quick to make sure this actually works before I undo what I just did. Oh wait, maybe it's a duration thing. Maybe that's my issue. Because the duration is going out, so it's restarting every time. So if I have a very long duration, maybe that'll be my best bet. Like a duration of like 60 or something. Like a very long duration. No, that's not it. Okay, at least the other aspect of it works though. It's not like I can't have multiple snow system underneath, it's just kind of excessive or unnecessary, I guess. So each one would need its own. You can have them turn on and off as they get used though, I guess. Okay. Alright. Get rid of this. So I need some kind of a torch object, which is going to be representative of the thing that can burn stuff down, start the fires. That's as simple as just like bringing it to the collider area. That's the kind of code I would make when I'm actually like putting things together. I don't know, I think I'm just missing the meshes. I think I need some things to work with to actually put something together. I'll just make this a pick-upable thing for now. How do you link it? Because if you link it to your arm, you would be able to reposition it how you want it to be. I feel like you should probably have to hold it though, even if you can reposition where it's held. Yeah, something you would grab onto, hold down, and then that would reposition a weapon of some kind to your side. And that would be the mesh. Mesh. Oh, I'm still in play mode. So gun mesh. And then we have another one, which is the pickup. Or actually, I guess I'll make a, for now I'll just make a little cube or something. So this will be the gun pickup. It'll be a trigger collider. Similar to the gun mesh, doesn't even need to have a collider. This will need a pickup. It'll be kinematic with no mass, no function basically, no constraints. Orientation, any auto hold, yes. So it's not really throwable. Proximity 6, doesn't really matter. Pickupable, yes. Disallow theft, it doesn't really matter because this is going to be a local thing anyway. And actually, since it's local, I guess I could still have it synced under this in a way. Okay. Alright, so I have a gun mesh here. Pick up here, so it's going to need to have an udon on it. I don't think it's a syncing udon though, so it doesn't need to have a... It's not going to receive any events. Ooh, I should probably renamed it something else. Pick up. Kind of like the strings, just something simple where you can, if you hold down, it'll send events to something else. Let's find it first of all. Pick up. Actually, it's fine being called pickup udon. There's nothing wrong with it. Let's read the script. So what this is going to do is it's going to just coordinate as an object that can be picked up, and every time you hold down on it, it's going to send an event to something else that's doing something. So it's more of a middleman because it's not going to have a sync on it. It's mostly just going to be there as you holding something. Orientation can be any. I guess orientation will have it as a grip. I don't want it to have an exact grip though. Disallow theft. Doesn't really matter. It's not going to be synced anyway. Alright, so you have pickup. You have snow gun. I have a script now. this is going to have a, I'll just make it public. On behavior, on target, it's null. And it's going to be an on use down, which I think previously I was playing around with that here. No. I always forget. Public override void on pickup use. Yep, there we go. On pickup. On pickup use down. On pickup use up. Yeah, there we go. And on drop. You know what, since it may need to be manual actually because of the fact that it uses this. I can actually just have one of these per player and have it reference to a different object that they sync to. I don't really need that many pickups. On pickup use down. It's on drop, right? On drop. On pickup use down, use up. I swear there's another one. Staff. On drop, yeah. Public override void on drop. It's literally right there. That's why it's not working. Oh, it is. Okay. All right. Simple. If pickup use event, pick event dot is greater than 0, then it will just send to the udon target. Send custom events. Pick the event. Simple as that. Drop event, so it'll send the drop event. This will be a pickup use event, it'll send a pickup use event. Use down event, pickup use down event. I can rename it down the road to have it serve different functions. Ugh. Oh. It only really matters for like shields and things. I think torches are probably fine just being normal pickups, maybe. Alright, but this is nice and simple. So it'll send an event, basically, whatever I want it to be, to the pickup event target, which is the udon target, which is going to be the snow gun, in this case. So when you pick it up, I need some way of referencing it, though, to the object if it's not going to be linked to it. Which could be done if it hits it, I guess. I could have like a collision layer in the snow gun that detects the pickup coming into contact with it, and that coming into contact with it could be changing the pickup's reference to itself. That would be one option. I don't know. Would it even have a collision if it didn't? If it was a trigger collider? Would be on trigger enter? Yeah, it would be on trigger enter. Okay. So what I could do theoretically then is I could have a setup where the gun is a on trigger enter. It absorbs the pickup and turns it into its own reference. So like right now it does nothing. It's just an empty thing. So that means that right now it's not even going to be like linked to it at all. It's just going to be some separate object over here. And I will then take the snow gun, and it'll have a function of public void on trigger enter. I don't want it on player though. I just want it. Oh, maybe it's not override then. Maybe it's put on trigger enter. And then I would be the collider C. Move these around a little bit here. Let's see, let's make this something more clear, like a empty pickup. Empty pickup, there we go. So it'll take the if, first of all, if held is false. So let's see, what are the things here? If held P is is basically not true. So if held P is less than 0, and C dot game object dot name is equal to empty object, then so it's equal to empty object. It will absorb it, so it'll take the boot on behavior. So I need another type of. Oops. Type of. I need another one of these. So work pickup is going to become equal to the C dot get component. I should get name. Is it getting it from the collider or is it getting from the game object? I should leave it like this for a moment and check. Held P and C is equal to empty game object. Then what it'll do is it'll change the C dot name to become equal to this needs to be snowgun something. Snowgun 0 or something. Oh, but this isn't the thing that's actually coming into contact with it. It's the gun mesh that's coming into contact with it. Right? Because this doesn't even have a sync on it. So this wouldn't be the means you do it. There'd have to be something else that you'd touch that would tell it what to become, like a picture or something. So it wouldn't be done here. Maybe I'll just make another little mini script that parents something if it comes in contact with it. Cube. Let's make it red. Call it a parenter. Ha 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 ha. Or I could just give the snow gun itself a maybe I'll just do that. That'll probably be the easier way to do it. I mean, if you drop the gun mesh, what happens to your thing? They were kind of talking about not even having it so where you would have to hold on to it and you could just do it with like clicks and gestures. I feel like you'd still need to click it down though. Like maybe you can drop it and run around without holding it. What do we even do here? I'm going kind of roundabout with the parenter, but I do like the idea of having the loose pickup that can become other things. Or I can just have it not do that. Okay. Let's just not do that. Let's just not do that. Oops, I got rid of the pickup. We'll just have it underneath it, that's fine. Get rid of all this. Okay, so I have an empty pickup. It is obviously referencing the snow gun. So pickup events. So on the pickup, it is going to claim the held P, I imagine. So it'll probably claim the weapon. And on pickup use down, it'll probably fire projectile. So pickup use down, we'll fire it. Pickup event is going to P. So we'll claim snow gun. I don't think it will release the snow gun so much. I guess you would though. The idea is it follows you around though. I guess I could have other limits down the road. So how do you claim the snow gun? You need to set the held P to be equal to your value. So your value, first of all, has to have a value. So we'll get that from the player tracker probably actually. Does the player tracker have a track your local P index? Yeah, it does. So local ints, local P, no, not if. Int local x is equal to integer from the player tracker dot get variable, and then as long as if it's less than 0, then it's just going to return because you're not a player. But otherwise, it will set the program variable of type or name is of held P, the held player, to be equal to your local P index, and then serialize. Oh, I don't have a serialize button here yet, do I? I do not. So I need that. All right. Serialize. So you'll serialize your ownership of the held P being yours. And with held P being yours, it will run the held P, which will set the object as existing positively within the tracker system. And it'll fire projectile depending. There'll be a way that you can reposition the projectile's position relative to the pickup. But otherwise, it's gonna follow the player around. Okay, so you claim the snow gun. That's simple. For now, let's just figure out firing the projectile. All this needs to do is reference the snow system and send a custom event. Oh, it's a particle system still. I think I want the udon behavior. So snow system.send custom event of activate snow. Simple as that. Right? Simple as that. So now if on the pickup, I use the pickup event of fire projectile, or pickup event will set the claim snow gun, which changes it to me. Oh, I need to make it so that Pivot can be claimed first though. I mean, it is claimable, but I just don't have a means of doing it very directly. But that's fine. I can test it without that. Alright, I only have 20 more minutes. Like I said, I only have a short time today. Honestly, I need to get some models in here so I can actually start putting something together. Let's see. Play. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to clear my console. I'm going to be pewed on 0. I'm going to claim. Set myself as team 0. Alright. Now, go to the game view. If I pick this up, it's now locked to me, but the other thing did not work. Local P index. I didn't find this under the player tracker apparently. Oh, it did not reference. I didn't reference the player tracker. And while I'm at it, I need to have it set into place the actual team onto the variables. I guess you don't have a team yet from just picking. Oh, you would have a team by this point. So I guess I'll have a local team index here too. Sure. That's gonna be separate. So all this is gonna do is it's going to change the snow system. Oh, that's what it's going to change into. Is the local team index, but the actual value is going to be just a team index, I think. Yeah, team index. There we go. Do I need to serialize it? I feel like it'll serialize, like when you first try to fire it, it'll serialize to it. So I don't even need to serialize it here. Nobody else is going to try to serialize it. Right? Right. Tracker currently doesn't get it, but it will get it eventually. Save, saves. Did I just... I closed out one. Okay. Okay, let's see. First things first, I need to grab the udon, so let's claim this. That's me now. Clear this. I am going to change it artificially here that I am on team 0. Alright, still give me a script crash. Where is it this time? What? Did it still have a help P of -1? No, help P of 0. Is it player player done is not referenced in the world variables? Why is the world variables player done not referenced? What the heck? Okay. Okay. Once again, grab the claim P. Change the tracker team to 0. I guess I'm just gonna through the tracker, huh? Alright. Where is it doing it this time? Equals to P. Item index. Item index. Item dip. This is also not in there, is it? Okay. Tracker. Item index. Oh, that's not the thing that's actually being moved around. Equal to P. Wait, where was it? There? The API is. I thought I fixed this on the other one already. However, this is supposed to be there. Okay, so the issue here is that, again, I think where I just need to have a very large number of this. It says it's getting it from the tracker though. So the tracker is the issue. It says there's only one. There should be at least 10. If I do this, is it gonna be okay? If I do this. I mean, it's not public for me anyway, so there's no reason for it to be public. May as well make it referenced by the udon. Oh hey, I actually grabbed it. So that was it. Alright, so now if I look at this. So every time I press it down, it fires. It also fires when I let it up too. It's not the way it's supposed to work. Also, it's not following me at all, even with a Boolean being on. I guess it didn't get linked to me in any way. Tracker. Alright, so the item API. Oh yeah, it's not actually getting information about me. For now, let's just say and I need this IP item pappy is valid. If this is true, then it's going to get the position not of me personally or the collider, but of the item itself. So the item P dot position is going to become equal to We'll just say right hand. For now, I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm not going to add anything else to it. And we'll make it match the rotation too, why not? Alright, so that'll match the hand. And why does it fire twice? Every time I let go, it fires again. It says fire projectile on pickup use down event. And it just activates snow. Right? Pick up. Activate. Use snow. Activate snow. That's all it does. Serializes, positions, shoots it. So why is it firing it? Twice. That doesn't make sense to me. Oh, is it? Hold on. That's why. Found it. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Alright, so now maybe it'll follow me around a little bit. Maybe. Alright, I have to grab it first. Alright, and now I grab the pickup. It's not linking to me. It's still shooting. It's only shooting once now, so that's good. Ba-da-da-da-da. Alright. Okay, now what? Well, first of all, let's go ahead and aim it. I was gonna try to aim it by having it linked to me, but it's clearly not linking to me, so let's just go and aim it like this real quick. There we go. Now I fire. Oh. It wasn't anywhere near close enough. Let me get closer. Still there? Alright. Anyway, that's my time limit, so I think I've got to stop for now. Oh, what do we have? I really wish it was actually following me around though. Because that should be a part of the tracker system. Oh, it probably wasn't true. I bet it wasn't true. Let me try this one more time. First of all, I'll claim this. Grab this. Oh. Yep, that's true. Definitely going the wrong way though. Da 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 da. die. What was the error? Nothing important. Okay, that's fine. So the idea is that I can like reposition it later. Alright. Alright, so it is tracking. It's definitely not tracking in the right way. It's also rotated in a strange way, but that's going to be something that the player is going to figure out on their own, because they'll orient it how they want to. I guess I should have a better starting orientation, but whatever. Okay, well, it's linking at least, so that's a positive. It's not quite doing what it needs to, but definitely doing damage. It's lowering PHP. It's got a system to grab and attach. I think next time I'm just going to need to have more links. I need more meshes and more terrain and stuff. But for that, I need the others to actually give me some files. Yeah, I think that's it for now. I'll give it another try another day. See where I'm at then. Good luck with life.